That sounds good. Okay. All right. So let me pause there and just ask, any additional topics to cover for today?
So hi everyone, this is Iris. I'm not very frequently in this meeting, but I saw the recording from last time, and I also participated from the ISO side, not specifically 4200X, but on other SE42 standards. And I was at the Singapore plenary, I think 2 weeks ago. And of course, I know you have connections through Karen and many other experts. But one thing I heard from the 42003 discussion was that, yeah, they're looking for something that's tied, very tied to 42001. So they can't provide extra uh, requirements in 42003, but of course the implementation side sounds like a good fit there. But it's just it sounds like the AI SBOM related material cannot be a requirement there, but it can be the from the implementation side. Yeah, so that's what I heard just from the conversations that I was in 2 weeks ago. And I was wondering, Mary, so who's your contact from SC42? Is that Well, the chair?
It's Andrew.
Andrew, if we have a last name
And
or
uh, I don't think I have it. It's email. It's only Andrew.
okay, but I think we have a few Andrews in the group, but yeah, I think one of the
I,
Andrews.
I will see if I can find the fan because in the email it's there's no like a full name there, and for his signature it's only called Andrew.
Well, do you recall? Can you see the email domain? Maybe that might give Iris some
Yeah,
triangulation.
I'm trying to search in my email now. So
No,
oh,
Iris, that was
maybe it's called Dryden or Dryden.
That's the last name, is that right?
Yeah, I think so. It's Dryden Andrew, I think. Or because it shows Dryden at iso.org.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with him, but yeah, I guess it's a big group, so lots of people participating there.
that was a great summary, Iris, of the last of the 42001 event or 420X event in Singapore. Um, in our last conversation, there was some discussion about like, can we send somebody there? And it's terrific that you joined with having had the opportunity to attend. Um, did they come away with any next steps from the
Uh,
Singapore discussion?
I was hesitant at that time because it's conflict with my schedule and it's quite tight, and Matthew cannot make it either. So it's maybe we can wait for next ISO meeting.
Oh yeah, but I was asking, yeah, yeah, thanks, Mary. But I was actually asking Iris, since she was there, whether or not there was any takeaway from that discussion on next steps.
Yes, so I think at the moment there was a few proposals or contributions that's on the list. So it was one session for a morning for working group one to tackle this 42003. So the editor led through some remaining points from last time. I think they paused for a while because of the technical issues with the document system from ISO. But now they're just restarting this, and they have the editor from 27003, so it's like a similar construct, but from SE27, the security side. So they had lots of contribution from that person who also joined C42. And I think they have some next steps. I'm trying to find a document, but I think at the moment I got the impression that they're just getting started, and they will have online meetings soon when the online meeting circle starts. If I find anything more in the documents, I will paste in the chat, I think. Yeah.
Could you share the online meeting when it will be?
Right. So to participate in an online meeting, I think it's necessary to go through the national bodies. But I can definitely share the timing. So maybe some people already planning to attend can, yeah, mention this point. Yeah, I will try to find that in the document.
Thank you. Because in our last meeting, if I remember correctly, there's a one chapter in our open self certification, which will be helpful to implement in ISO 42003, which Matthew and Xiaobo from Alibaba Cloud mentioned that. So it would be great to contribute to this part.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Iris.
Yeah, sorry, but just I think I didn't get you mentioned there was maybe a clause or a certain section that you could contribute. Could you repeat that section you mentioned?
Yeah, I think there's a one section talk about, I don't remember the content now. It's talk about the AI SBOM explainability. That part probably need to be implemented in the ISO 42003 as well.
Okay. Yes, maybe I can share. Oh, I guess I can't share my screen at the moment because I have
Yeah.
the. Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks. Then maybe I
I
can
stopped sharing so you can
share.
continue.
Yeah. So I think I can share this briefly outside ISO, but I can't send you any links or any content from this. So this is the draft at the moment. So you can see lots of clauses are still pretty empty. But I guess you mentioned maybe some part of maybe it's relating to like an AI risk or
SBOM part.
because I was actually searching for SBOM. I think it's not in the outline. Sure, and maybe it's here. I don't think at the moment the draft mention SBOM.
Can you
Yeah.
search for bomb only without ES?
Yeah.
Yes, I don't see a result at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they could be using different nomenclature, for this. This is about the components that went into the model creation.
Yeah, I think, and the structure can still change as well. This is the current structure, but I can imagine the SBOM part can potentially in operation or maybe evaluation. I was just wondering if you already have like a clause number or anything. Potentially, you thought this could come in, but maybe it's still in early stages.
Mm-hmm.
So the draft is, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. To get access to that website, does that also require us to go through national bodies?
Yeah, I think so. I got access to this through my national bodies. I'm based in the Netherlands, so that's through the Netherlands that I got this account, and yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. That's great. That's really helpful. Maybe that can be kind of a a question that we can wrestle with. Mary, I don't know if it's okay. Can I give you a proposed follow-up, maybe to talk with Andy Updegrove, to see if there's a way for this work group to get access through a national body. You can either go through, for example, the US, where the Linux Foundation is headquartered, or perhaps go through a different one, but maybe he can help us, figure out if there's a way we can do this as a group. Alternatively, it would be having each member, go through the effort to work through, their own national body. And that seems like it's, quite a bit of effort.
Yeah, that would be a great idea. I think it can save in each individual's time as well. Could you repeat the name? Who should I talk to?
Andy Updegrove, he's the attorney for antitrust, but he's also the attorney the Linux Foundation uses for standards bodies.
Andy, I will just make sure I can find his name in the Slack.
His name is the one that's on that antitrust page that you put.
Oh, you mean the antitrust page? It's Andrew, right?
Yes, Andrew Updegrove.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I get it. So I will ask for him if we can have a group access for this ISO standard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Explain the work that we have to get done through a national body, if you would.
Mm. Okay, get it. I will check with him.
Yeah. In the US, it's ATIS, ATIS.
ATIS.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's the national body that works with ISO.
It's like a international organization.
Right. Yeah. ISO is the international sort of like superset, or kind of international body, and then there's the national body in the US is ATIS. ATIS.
So each country have their own kind of national
Yes.
body.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will contact Andrew, and then if we see if we can go through the ATIS or Linux Foundation.
Or or a relationship Linux Foundation may have with another organization, like I don't know if the JDF, the Joint Development Foundation, that's a Linux Foundation subsidiary, might have already a connection to ATIS.
I talked to JDF before to get this understanding.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The other organization. Maybe I can talk to JDF also.
Sure, that would be.
And I can talk to both JDF and Andrew.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Mary.
Great.
I want to. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. All right. Marcel, I see you put in a comment in the chat. I don't recognize that organization. I haven't clicked on your link yet. Do you want to talk about it a little bit more?
I just was collecting for my internal presentation of what we're doing, and then I just stumbled upon it yesterday only when I looked at it and say, okay, this also seems rather fresh, so not since months, and as you know, the history between SPDX and CycloneX probably. I would really appreciate to try to collaborate as soon as possible. And I would also expect that same with, we have, this AI and dataset profile within SPDX that care within SPDX about AI and SBOM, that I would expect that on the OWASP side, this is a comparable activity. I saw they already have this, if you click on the link, they also have a supply chain overview of tools, etc., where they also list SPDX. So it seems they also rather seem open, like we are. But I would consider us here as a group anyway on a again on an agnostic high abstract level, right? Where we say, okay, we concentrate on supply chain, on the processes, and independent if you implement it then in SPDX, Cyclinix, or whatever. I guess like we did with the other our other guidelines, etc. as well. But here I think it would be good to directly have, well, all stakeholders on our radar, right? So that therefore I was not sure if already someone was involved with them.
Yeah, Marcel, actually, Karen, Raymond, and I would all join those meetings. So there are actually two OWASP group work
Okay.
talking not only CycleDX but also SPDX, Liaison. Yeah, so we kind of introduced it to the OWASP about I think more than half a year now. I think 8 months ago. So yeah, and if you need to, I can. If you join as the OAuth member, I can let you know how to join those calls. There are two calls actually, two groups, independent group, both supporting SPDX.
That's great that you're in contact. So I'm rather looking for joining less calls than more calls. So therefore, I'm super happy if I know I can be sure. Okay, this is somehow concerted activity between you. So then I'm also happy, right? If I know people talk to each other, then I'm happy.
Yeah, so they're focusing more on the technical implementation of SBOM, not about processes. That's why I didn't bring it to your attention.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Victor, for that. Can you actually say a little bit more about what they're doing in terms of their technical tooling? What do they aim to provide?
Yeah, so this one that Marcel posted, it's more of I think it's a byproduct of a startup one of the members is trying to do. So, but it is good. They're trying to create the kind of AI, the supporting tooling for AI SBOM. There's another one that was kind of a older one actually. That was just a continuation from the DISA collaboration. That's called Gen AI SBOM. So yeah, so both are kind of independently doing similar things.
Is this being done at the model level? It looks like from the website, they click on it, it looks like it's done at the approaching at the model level, or is perhaps the Gen AI SBOM approaching from a system level?
I actually this one I have not attended regularly. The other one I did. Both just define what is BOM and create tools, not talking about processes for AI BOM.
I see. Is it okay for me to, so I'm sort of surmising based on sort of my reading of the website and your comments that perhaps one area that they're trying to solve, that's a real problem actually, is during the training process to actually build from the log files, some information about the pedigree of the data sets that were used. And that kind of gets, I think, to some of the the comments from the fields that Xiaobao talked about last discussion. Is that where they're directing their tooling attention, or is it perhaps different?
Actually, the other one I know more. This one I'm not sure. They have as I said, it's one of the member. I think is starting a startup, so it's kind of a byproduct of that.
Okay. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. I wasn't aware of it. So appreciate you and Marcel, surfacing this conversation.
Yeah. So for one, I guess one takeaway is I think in the past SPDX was not introduced to OWASP for some reason. So we did that, and I think in at least in OWASP SPDX is an you can consider the OWASP projects just like CycloneDX now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. On the website, it doesn't mention SPDX, only CycloneDX. I see.
That the reason for that is the original tooling created is for CycloneDX, so that's why. But if you look at the detail, so it's there's a lot of support for both projects. It's supporting SPDX by default. Also partially because SPDX3, which is the new graph language ISO standard. There's still tooling to be developed for it. So those are still to come. So what's reflect on the website is kind of the old tools.
I see. Okay, cool. Do you happen to know how often do they meet?
I believe weekly. Some of them could be bi-weekly, but I think weekly. The other one is also bi-weekly. So Dave, if you need information how to join both calls, I can give you those information.
Yeah. I'm like Marcel. I don't know if I have the schedule budget to be able to join more calls on that, but since you are joining, I don't know if it's fair for me to ask you if you wouldn't mind providing some informal updates from time to time on that. Just so
I can. I don't join this call regularly though.
No, okay. I see. Okay. Yeah, let's think about how to do some, maybe ad hoc collaboration.
But maybe you can do is I can send you an invite to the SPDX Slack workspace. I said I'm a generalist. I go to a lot of meetings, but not any particular one for too much. But I can give you update from Slack if you it's easier to. I can do it asynchronously.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that. All right. Thanks, Victor. And then I wanted to go back to just something that that Iris raised, and I was thinking about the comment that was helpful, to clarify my thinking here is also that, within 42003, the expectation would be that there would be no normative requirements introduced there. And, I think that the way that we might want to sort of solve for that requirement could be that we just relook at, our work product, and maybe if necessary, we could respin it, but it would be to clarify that, to the extent that there are any procedural requirements to adhere to a standard, those would be viewed as non-normative. In other words, these would be recommendations for implementation, to streamline and maximize the compatibility, between tiers of a supply chain, to reduce friction, consistent with the way that we have always sort of thought of things with an open chain. But unlike sort of, like call it 5230, the transmission of those compliance artifacts, if you will, would be viewed as, it's holistically consistent in one package, for example, but it would be not viewed as a normative requirement on the underlying 42001. So it's implementation guidance. And if everyone were to follow that, it would streamline things across the ecosystem, but not proposed as a normative requirement. Of course, you only get that critical mass, when you have everybody doing it in a consistent way. But maybe that kind of framing would solve for, the non-normative versus the normative.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think what they mentioned is the impossibility of using shall, which is the normative requirements in 42003, but they also mentioned that examples are quite welcome, so they can add in more potentially procedural examples. I'm not completely sure about using recommendations or like should. So in the ISO language, should is, I think, the recommendation that you not necessarily have to follow, but recommended. But the only thing that I heard that's a sure is we can't introduce new shells, which are the normative references. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Iris. Okay, so let me open the floor again. Any additional topics for us to consider for today? Well, I see, Iris, you put into chat, I just noticed that from the minutes, they haven't picked a date for the next 42003 meeting yet, and that future meetings schedule for the future meetings is still to be determined.
Yes, that's the most recent minutes I could find. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And Victor, I see your Slack.
Yeah, if you can join, I can ping you on Slack. We can go async to get status update about the ecosystems.
Okay, all right, great. All right, I will join that. Okay. Thank you, guys. I think that we're, at the end of our conversation for today. Last call for any additional comments or items. All right, great. Have a great rest of your day, your evening, your afternoon, wherever you are. All right, take care. Until next time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.